So Dandavata Pranam to all of you. So we will discuss this sloka from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 3rd chapter, 31st verse. Tasmāt saṅkīrtanaṁ viṣṇor jagan-maṅgalam aṁhasām mahatām api kauravya viddhy aikāntika-niṣkṛtam. Once again I will recite because we are not very familiar with Srimad Bhagavatam slokas. After that some of you can volunteer to recite the sloka. Tasmāt saṅkīrtanaṁ viṣṇor jagan-maṅgalam aṁhasām mahatām api kauravya viddhy aikāntika-niṣkṛtam. Yeah, anybody would like to recite?
Tasmāt saṅkīrtanam viṣṇor jagan-maṅgalam aṁhasām mahatām api kauravya viddhy aikāntika-niṣkṛtam.
Excellent. Thank you. Any other Mataji, Prabhuji? Please do recite that way. Yes.
Tasmāt saṅkīrtanam viṣṇor jagan-maṅgalam aṁhasām mahatām api kauravya viddhy aikāntika-niṣkṛtam.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Yes, any other Prabhuji? Chetan Singh Thakur Prabhu? Or any other devotees?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Tasmāt saṅkīrtanam viṣṇor jagan-maṅgalam aṁhasām mahatām api kauravya viddhy aikāntika-niṣkṛtam. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Okay, one last. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Tasmāt saṅkīrtanam viṣṇor jagan-maṅgalam aṁhasām mahatām api kauravya viddhy aikāntika-niṣkṛtam.
Very nice, Mataji. Any last devotee? Anybody would like to?
Viddhy.
Okay. Ramesh Prabhu, you wanted to try? Okay. So, Nutan Mataji, can you read the word-to-word synonym and also the translation?
Yes. Tasmāt, therefore, saṅkīrtanam, the congregational chanting of the holy name, viṣṇor, of Lord Vishnu, jagat-maṅgalam, the most auspicious performance within the material world, aṁhasām, for sinful activities, mahatām api, even though very great, kauravya, O descendant of the Kuru family, viddhy, understand, aikāntika, the ultimate, niṣkṛtam, atonement.
Translation.
Śukadeva Gosvāmī continued, my dear king, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is able to uproot even the reactions of the greatest sins. Therefore, the chanting of the saṅkīrtana movement is the most auspicious activity in the entire universe. Please try to understand this so that others will take it seriously.
Thank you, Mataji. Any other devotee would like to read the purport who has not read the sloka? Ramesh Prabhu, would you like to read the purport? Small purport. Yeah, any other devotee can go ahead, please.
Shall I, Prabhuji?
Yeah, go ahead, Prabhuji.
We should note that although Ajamila chanted the name of Narayana imperfectly, he was delivered from all sinful reactions. The chanting of the holy name is so auspicious that it can free everyone from the reactions of sinful activities. One should not conclude that one may continue to sin with the intention of chanting Hare Krishna to neutralize the reactions. Rather, one should be very careful to be free from all sins and never think of counteracting sinful activities by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. For this is another offense. If by chance a devotee accidentally performs some sinful activity, the Lord will excuse him. But one should not intentionally perform sinful activities, sinful acts. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So wonderful. So we have seen that here, Śukadeva Gosvāmī Maharaj is saying that, or in one way, let's go through the fundamentals before we dwell into the subject. And at the same time, probably we will not be able to complete this discussion today. We will take something as our things to ponder, and we will discuss it tomorrow. So that's the plan. So what is the difference between sin and offense? You see that here, sin and offense has been, here it is talked about sin and offense. So what's the difference between sin and offense? So what's the...
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Sir, it is Prabhuji, it is like aparadh and paap, Prabhuji. So if we translate in that way, so offenses are almost unpardonable. Even if you sin, commit some sin, paap, even if you do some paap, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, I will still deliver you. Apitesh to duracharo, that sloka he will say, where he will say that even if you do some paap karma, still I will deliver you if you are in the right path of devotional service. But offenses, especially offenses against the Vaishnavas, the aparadh will be so much that I remember one where I heard, I don't know, Prabhuji, but it said that one person, one very great devotee was passing through that, and he was hearing that aparadh from of the Vaishnavas. By hearing also, he had to come back into that birth cycle, and he had to do lot of service, then again to go back to Goloka. So even if hearing of the offense is also a very big offense, so you actually should not commit neither offense or sin, but still papa you get vimukti from papa, but from offense you have, if you comment more so with against the Vaishnavas, then to deliver it is very, very difficult. And Krishna says it is beyond my diction. So we have to go into the a lot of rigorous devotional service to get out of it. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So here, in one way, in this sloka, when it is mentioned that tasmāt saṅkīrtanaṁ viṣṇor jagan-maṅgalam aṁhasām. So here it is mentioned that the saṅkīrtana, when you take the holy name, jagan-maṅgalam, the most auspicious performance that you can do in this material world is taking the holy name. And what does it do? For removing all the sinful activities, you will be able to overcome, and all these sinful activities which you have done, it will be burnt out. It will be removed from your quota, whatever it is there. So that is what for sinful activities, right? Now, as Mataji rightly mentioned, the Sanskrit word for sin is papa, and aparadha means offense. Now, what is from definition perspective, because end of the day we should be able to realize in our day-to-day activities and be cautious and conscious about these two things, because this is the very important thing that if you can take care of it, you will be able to really progress very nicely in your spiritual endeavor. So the definition given for sin is simply a failure to fulfill our duty or responsibility or a function that we are supposed to do. For example, a father is sinning if he is not providing the physical and mental security to his family, that is his children, wife, and elderly parents. So this is considered to be a sin. So what does it really mean by saying something as a sin is that you act or the acts one is doing which contribute to the failure is called a sin, but at the same time, you are doing it unknowingly. So when you are doing something unknowingly, that is called a sin. Okay. So anybody would like to add on that?
Even knowingly, if someone is doing it, will be sin, right?
Right. So basically, knowingly when you are doing something, it is called an offense. So that's the difference. A sin is something where you are doing it, but you don't know that you are really doing it. You don't even know that that is to be done or not to be done. You don't know, but you are committing that activity, and that is called a sin. Okay. And aparadha is basically an intentional hurt or slander that you do, or against a person who deserves the respect and love. So that is called aparadha. But see, the basic difference is that you are doing one thing without knowing. The other thing is you're doing it with knowing that you are not supposed to do, you're doing it. So that is called aparadha. Make sense, Matajis, Prabhulis?
Could you repeat, Prabhuji?
Okay. So a sin is something which you are doing it without any knowledge that whether this is correct, not correct, but whether I should do it or not, you don't know. So you do not have the prerequisite knowledge about that, and you are just doing it. So then that is considered to be a sin. And aparadha is a higher degree of that in one way, a higher degree in the sense, this is also a kind of an activity which shouldn't be done, but you know that it shouldn't be done and you are doing it. And that is called aparadha. And usually an aparadha or an offense is done intentionally to hurt somebody, and by speaking something against those people or who deserve respect and love. So that is called aparadha. And now, for example, most of the time all of us know there are 10 offenses that we read early in the morning before our japa starts. And one of the offense, inattentive chanting, is an offense. So it is an offense because you know that when you are taking to the holy name, you are supposed to be doing it. See, it is like holy name is non-different than Krishna. That means whether Krishna is there in front of you or taking the holy name is one and the same. So that is what this non-different mean. Now, when you are taking his holy name, you are not consciously able to take the holy name, and you are thinking about this, that, and you are able to multitask things. So this is all considered to be an aparadha. Okay, so don't get frightened that hey, but I'm able to not go at that level, but still understand that when you are taking to this holy name, when you are doing it, you need to do unoffensively. So that means you should not do any offense while you are chanting. At least be conscious that Krishna is there and the holy name is not cheap. When you think that this holy name is cheap, you tend to go here and there, and you are allowing your mind to go here and there. So when you understand that this is very important for me, and this is the one which will make me go and transform my life. So when you have that, then you will not commit any offense. So if suppose somebody doesn't know anything about the holy name and he does inattentively do chanting, that will be considered as sin, but not an offense. But since you know now that inattentive chanting is an offense and still continue to do that, that is what is an aparadha. Make sense, Matajis, Prabhujis?
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji,
Yes, Prabhu.
again, as usual, I'm putting my own thought. So, can I say aparadha is like it will something which will detour you from the path, whereas sin is just you are doing it out of guna. Can I put it that way?
Actually, if you go and read Bhagavad Gita, as Preeti Mataji also mentioned, you will come to know that what is the root cause of an offense. So you can go, probably as I told you, we will take this as a something to ponder and go back and read Bhagavad Gita in that sense. So let's discuss this tomorrow. In Bhagavad Gita, in one way, what is the worst type of sin is what is mentioned. Dash is the word, is the worst type of sin, and what is the root cause? Okay, so what is the root cause of an ordinary sin, and what is the root cause of offense is also what is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So why don't we take up this as a probably as a homework, where we all can read Bhagavad Gita and come back, because our basis for our discussion is Bhagavad Gita. So let us get that sloka from Bhagavad Gita, where it was talking about sin and what is the root cause of sin and what is the root cause of offense. If we can discuss that, then we will be able to translate that in our day-to-day life, not to commit certain things. See, ideally we are not supposed to commit neither sin nor offense, but when it comes to the gravity of the issue, we are not supposed to commit any offense. And so that is what we will discuss tomorrow. Is that okay, Prabhuji? I am not concluding now, for the reason that we need to go and do ourselves some swadhyaya. And tomorrow we will discuss this in greater detail and how it relates to, yes, Mataji.
Just one minor question. Like in the purport also, Srila Prabhupada mentions that if a person by mistake commits sinful activity, that Krishna will take care of. So knowing the result of that activity, knowing that this is a sinful activity and I should not do, but because of the previous vasanas and habits, we tend to make mistakes, right? We are sincerely trying not to do that mistake, but sometimes it happens. So then it is said that Krishna will take care of that. Then knowing that this is a mistake, we are doing a mistake, but we didn't want to do that mistake. So then it is not an offense, right?
So
Because Krishna is taking care of
yes,
it.
what you said is a little, see, this concept itself is a bit confusing, but if we can understand this, and this will really transform our life, because everything lies at this level only. Krishna also mentions in Bhagavad Gita, what is the root cause of you doing a sin? And if you can understand, you coming from a QA background, and a lot of us are there. So if you can understand what is that is causing me to do like this and eliminate that, then the future will be much more brighter for us. So yes, Krishna is going to take care, but Krishna is also saying that if you do some things knowingly, then I cannot help you. You have to do atonement for that. And what kind of an atonement you need to do, that is also what is discussed. So you have to face the consequences, and Krishna can help you. But again, that we need to really take birth again in this material world and do the atonement. This is what we are doing in one way. We are doing atonement only, because we did not just commit sin, we did really do offenses. And for that reason, we are doing atonement. And but again, while doing atonement, it is like a elephant goes and takes a nice bath in a nice river, and it comes outside and puts a lot of mud on it, all dirt on it. Then that is not what we are supposed to do. So if suppose Krishna has really removed all our sins, the elephant has gone into the river and took nice bath, after that you are supposed to be clean, but you are not doing it. You are putting more mud again, knowingly. So that is very, that is not kind of helpful for you in your spiritual progress. So we will discuss this, Mataji. The concept has to be discussed in much more greater detail. But the point what we are trying to drive here is that let us take this as pointers and go back and read Bhagavad Gita now. And let's come up with our own discussion, and it could be a debate also, no doubt about it, because whatever we are doing here is such that our swadhyay can be improved and we can read with that chakshu, so that we can understand at least those basics and implement in our life. That will really help us. Not just we know some slokas and we are able to read the slokas very nicely. That's okay, that's good. But again, if we can put some small things in our life, practice it, then that will be more helpful for us. Okay, thank you, Matajis, Prabhujis. I'm cutting short the discussion today.
Prabhuji, can I ask one small help from your side?
Prabhuji, we are beyond our stipulated time. What I am requesting, not to suppress your inquisitiveness, but let us take it by going through Bhagavad Gita now and have the discussion tomorrow. Is that
Just
okay?
quick point. Just add the point of intelligence, because I'm not intelligent enough to talk about intelligence in spiritual. So just the intelligence is needed to handle the sin and aparadha in my thinking.
Yes.
So an intelligence angle if you could add in tomorrow's.
Absolutely. Actually, Prabhuji, in Bhagavad Gita, everything is based on Bhagavad Gita only. And Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentions that about buddhi yoga and one-pointed focus one should have. So if you wanted to have one-pointed focus, and buddhi yoga means you are doing certain things, or you are doing things using your intelligence. Because when you do things with your mind, that may go away. So you need to do things with intelligence, because intelligence is higher than mind. So that is where obviously what you said is correct. But how do we do that? That is what is given and discussed also, because when you do swadhyay, your intelligence is getting sharpened. And to remove the impurities, that is where we are doing taking the holy name. So both are essential, and that's where. But when you compare both, intelligence is higher, and intelligence should drive the mind. So how does it drive the mind, and what kind of a consciousness we need to have? That is what we are going to get as part of the discussion that we are going to do in the next couple of sessions. Probably tomorrow we'll try to conclude if that's all we wanted to, and we'll discuss this tomorrow, but take it as a homework and let's do it, all of us.
Shloka number,
Mataji?
Shloka number 6.30.
This is 6.3.31 in Srimad Bhagavatam. 6.3.31.
Okay.
Bhagavad Gita slokas, you all know. You have to do the analysis and then come up and let's discuss it tomorrow. Is that okay, Prabhuji?
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.